Hey, Amanda,
Hey Keith,
what's
where are
going
you
on in your world?
going? Oh, it's wonderful. I can't complain. Where are you? Where have you gone? Where are you going? I've heard you've taken some pretty cool road trips. I know we've discussed it here. I know you've gone with your family. I hear you've gone with coworkers before. This must have been before I got to Gimbal.
Yeah, we need to take you on a gimbal road trip somewhere. We
Probably a Waffle House somewhere since
a
last time we
waffle.
touched on that. I've never been.
We need to get that on the calendar. We've got this new software that I can send you an email to schedule a trip to the Waffle House. Only problem is I don't think it lets you schedule breakfast, so we'd have to eat lunch at the Waffle House. So I don't know how that goes.
I think they serve breakfast all the time.
Oh, well, perfect. We'll do that. Yeah, I over the years, I think even when I think we did one. You remember when you were an intern? I took you on a road trip to Sears and Roebuck.
I do know that, yes.
What did you observe on that trip?
Um, Malls were starting to dwindle. At least Sears was.
Yeah, what I remember is we compared the treadmill area of Sears to that at Dick's Sporting Goods,
Yes.
and so you got to experience Sears before they
Officially
put the
shut the
rest in
doors.
peace sign out front.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if you're not able to jump in the car and go on a long road trip, you can take just a short trip. I don't know if museums are open now or if the zoo's open. I know parks are open, but you can go to short road trips that are eye-opening, informative, maybe just a way to express your personality to others. And today, uh, that's um, that's where I'm at today. I'm on a little different road trip. I'm going to do this really quickly before I subject anybody to loss of their privacy. Can you see where I'm at?
Yes. I know exactly where that is.
No?
I
Did I
know
lose you?
Central Indiana Cancer Center.
Yeah. And I recently had, oh, it didn't switch back to me, did it? I recently had the occasion to spend some time in this particular one with a friend. And um, just that was going through the COVID, and I noticed the transformation that took place here um, with the COVID situation. Are we there, Amanda?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay, you froze up on my side. So
Oh, okay.
the transformation that took place was I would go in with the person, I'd sit with them, I would go through the process, and then as the COVID unwound, I couldn't even get in the building, and
Mm.
that was quite a transition that took place here. But I've noticed as I've had the opportunity to visit doctors and other appointments with friends, family, and loved ones, the evolution of what a doctor's appointment has looked like in the year 2020. And so I thought I'd take you on that road trip with me today. It's a little different, maybe not as uplifting as a trip to someplace else, but I think it's worthwhile for folks that are maybe having to take a road trip to the doctor to know what's going on out there.
Yeah. I'd love to hear what you're seeing and what you're experiencing out there.
Well, the first thing we really experienced was we had a loved one kind of spend some time in our house, and they needed medical attention early on in the COVID situation, and they weren't even allowing anybody to go. You wouldn't want to go to an emergency room early on, and so we had in-home health care. And when that was happening in the springtime, the in-home health care was people that were wearing gloves, masks, even before there was a statewide mask order that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind, compassionate, very effective in doing what they needed to do. And they were extremely concerned with cleanliness. So they were wiping everything down that they touched and did anything with. And that was our experience during COVID with the in-home health care. And then we, as the world began opening up a little bit, we had some trips to doctors' offices. And those doctor's office visits, then what I discovered with those is they became a lot different experience than pre-COVID is that doctors' offices didn't overschedule. I'm not sure if that's what they did in the past, but they basically scheduled on a need to meet time frame. And so what happened is most of the chairs were out of the waiting rooms. The chairs were socially distanced, and the people everywhere were masked up, and everything was pretty sanitary. And then the waiting in the waiting room was very minimal, maybe 10 minutes. Waiting in the room for the medical specialist beyond just the nurses that helped was maybe 10 minutes at the most. And so the total meeting with the doctor might be just an hour in the post-COVID kind of in the office stuff. I had a occasion to go to I had a running injury or an age injury with my toe, and I had to go see a podiatrist last month. And from the time I signed in to the time I left, the entire visit was 45 minutes, which just blew me away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, that wasn't really heard of.
Well, I was going to say, you're young. You probably don't even go to the doctor, but 45 minutes, that included actually an x-ray, which was unbelievable to me.
Oh, wow.
The x-ray and the whole treatment and everything was done in 45 minutes. So that was very impressive. I'm trying to see what other ones, technology involved with the doctors now. They're upping their technology game. I had a doctor's appointment early on in COVID as well, where they were trying to do an online meeting so that they would do like you and I are meeting right now, but it was a doctor's appointment. And that was my first experience of that, which I think is going to be more of the future with doctor's visits, where it's going to be more online like this, where I can go, and if you were wanting to check my throat to see if I had tonsillitis or something, I'd hold the phone up or whatever, and you'd be underwhelmed by my tonsils since they were removed about 55 years ago. But that's a whole separate discussion. They have those little guns that you've seen those at restaurants and places where they spray your head to check your temperature.
No touch.
Have you seen the one? Have you seen the ones where? Yeah. Have you seen the one with the iPad kind of thing where you put your face in the chalk outline?
I have not seen that one yet. No, I clearly don't get out much.
Yeah. So there's a new one that's like it's like an iPad. I don't think it is, but you put your face in the outline. I saw one of those recently at Hershey's candy store. They had that to check your temperature before you go in. And other technology associated with that is your. Do you have an Apple Watch?
I do.
Does yours give you the ability to do a EKG, electrocardiogram?
I got an older generation one. As far as I know, but I have heard that.
Yeah, so I think right now the Apple Watch will do. The new versions can do your heart rate, your activity level, EKG. They can warn you of a situation where the noise is too loud and dangerous for your ears. And so what that technology will do will work with these online doctor's appointments to send information real time to your doctor without you having to be there. So that's where awesome. I saw some of that early on in this, and I can see how that's going to transform even more.
And it sounds like positives, like fewer wait times, hopefully, not even having to get into a car to go to a doctor's appointment, and just these new technologies. People are being innovative, and people are investing in that to make things more efficient.
Yeah, I think it's forced even bureaucracies like medical systems to streamline what they do, and big organizations sometimes are slow to move. And we've talked about this before. We're Gimbal. I think we have the advantage as a small organization. We can adapt to the needs of our clients much more efficiently than a big organization. But even the big organizations are being forced to adapt in order for them to survive. Yeah, I had to take a loved one to an emergency room visit last month or the month before, I lose track, and that's a completely different experience. I'm not a germaphobe. Are you a germaphobe?
Can't say I really am. Depends on the thing.
The attitude of the are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I think I think one of our internets is not working the best, but going. I'm not a germaphobe, but I am going to hospitals. I don't like hospitals at all. So taking a loved one during COVID to the emergency room, you might as well take me out and slap me around a little bit. That was a little bit outside my comfort zone. But they don't let family members into the emergency room, and at least they did at that point. So I spent the afternoon in my car in the parking lot, and that's how I communicated with what's going on in the emergency room.
Yeah.
I think that with that, doctors' offices and emergency rooms have expanded their waiting rooms to the parking lot.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah, that would
the
make sense.
parking lot is now part of the emergency room or the doctor's office waiting room. So they'll text you when they need you to come in. And so that's what's going on. But I'd say that's my summary of this week's on the road. It's not as exciting as going someplace spectacular like Bahamas or Hawaii, but it kind of lets folks who haven't been to the doctor's office know what's going on out there.
And it's just an interesting perspective, and it's something that's real. It's happening, and thanks for sharing your observations.
Well, let's I sense between now and when we talk next time, I'll have some input on the Big Apple. So let's talk about the Big Apple next time we get together.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Keith.
All right, see ya.
Bye.